Welcome to Q Automation Hub. So in today's video, let's see what is this keyword in Java. And first point, it is used to invoke an instance variable in the same class. Okay. So to differentiate between the arguments that is passed inside a parameterized constructor and the instance variable, it is used to identify which is the instance variable. So for that we use in this keyword. So I will show it with an example. It will be clear. And the second one is constructor. Okay, you can call invoke constructor inside a constructor. So that we call it as constructor chaining. Okay, and the third point is you can invoke current class methods. Okay, so that is done. That should be done inside a non-static method. Inside a static method, you cannot call this keyword. And the fourth point is it is used to return the current class instance. Okay, so you can create a method and you can return the current class instance using the this keyword. And the important factors of this keyword is the which were the from the third point I said, right, inside a static method or static block you cannot use this keyword. That is one point. And the second point is if you are doing a constructor chaining, this should be the first statement. Okay, you cannot put it in the second or third statement. It should be always in the first statement. And now let's see an example for all these points, which I will clearly explain with an example. All right, so let's see the points which we discussed now. And these are the points, and let's go to the first point now. It is used to invoke an instance variable in the same class. Okay, so we will use the example which we used to explain the constructor. So if you haven't watched the constructor tutorial, please go through that video so that it will be useful for you to understand why we are using this keyword. Okay, so here I have the parameterized constructor with two arguments, company and count, and that I am assigning it to the instance variable company name and employee count. Okay, so what we will do is we will change this value to company name and this value to employee count. Okay, similar to the instance variable we will assign the parameters as well. So this is how we will do in the industry level also. Okay, so we will not have a different parameter, so that will be similar to the instance variable only. So now you can see the instance variable here, it was in blue color, right? It got changed to brown because this is pointing to the value of this one. It is not able to identify this. Okay, so let's have this display Google info, right? So here we are calling this instance variable company name employee count. And when you come down, let's create an object quickly. Google info Google obj equal to Google info, and it is asking you to pass either it's integer or int or string or int. We have two constructors here which I explained in the previous video, and let us going to see the first one, string and int. Okay, so let me pass the company name first as Google and employee count as 1 lakh. Okay, and using this object, let us call the display Google info. All right, so now what we'll do, if I run this program, let's see what happens. So I'm running this program google info.java, and here you can see the company name is null, employee count is 0, but we are passing the values inside the parameterized constructor. What will happen, this will go to this constructor. Okay, this company name will get assigned to Google, this employee count will get assigned to 1 lakh. And here, since it is not able to identify this instance variable, okay, this company name, it is getting assigned as Google and 1 lakh. But when it comes to this method, here we are referring to the instance variable, right? So what we have to do to identify this instance variable, we have to put this keyword here. Okay, so this dot company name we need to put, and for the employee count, this dot employee count we have to put. See, now it is, the color has been changed and it is referring to this instance variable. And now if you run this program, the company name will get updated as Google and the employee count has been updated as 1 lakh. Okay, so this is the point. If the name that you are passing inside the constructor parameter and the instance variable are similar, then you have to use the this keyword. Then only it will identify the instance variable. Otherwise it will look like a local variable that is passed in the parameter, and because of that it displayed null and zero, because this company name and employee count does not has any values and the default value is null and zero. And here when you pass, it is updating only in the local variable, the value is not getting passed through this instance variable, so it displayed as null and zero. So if the parameter name and the instance variable name are similar in a constructor, then you have to use this keyword. Okay, so if it is different, say for example here we give it as company as before, and here it is like count, okay, and then you don't want to use the this keyword because it identifies properly. If you didn't use the this keyword also, it can able to identify that this is the instance variable, okay, because this is different. So this is the main point that you have to follow, but in industry standard we used to pass the same name as the instance variable inside the parameter, and we will use the this keyword. Okay, so just note that point. The other main thing is this keyword will have access only to the instance of that class. Okay, so for example in this youtube.java, this is a non-static method, so I'm using this keyword to access the instance of this classes. So here you can see these objects, okay, which are available in this class file, and this methods are also available in this class file. Okay, you cannot access the google info.java objects, okay, any of the variables or class method, anything you cannot access. So this keyword is only used to access the objects of that class file. So this is also a very important thing. Okay, okay, the second point is it is used to invoke a constructor inside another constructor. Okay, so in the same class file you can invoke a constructor inside another constructor. Okay, say for example this is one constructor and this is one constructor, right? And you can assign the value using this keyword here. Okay, and let us assign here, and you need to pass the value of this sales number and product cost. What is the sales number? We will put it as 1 lakh, and product cost we will put it as 400. Okay, so you can see it is allowed. And what we'll do now, let's call this the second method, calculate google revenue. So here we are multiplying the sales number into product cost, and we are storing it in a revenue variable, and we are displaying the revenue of google here, right? So we will call this method now google obj dot calculate revenue. Okay, and now let's print this, let's run this class file. Yes, you can see the revenue of google is being calculated. Okay, we haven't created any object for separate object for this constructor. Okay, but the value has been passed. How it has been passed? Using this keyword. So in the same class, if you have any other constructor that needs to be passed inside another constructor, then you can use this keyword. Okay, so if you have watched my previous video, you could have known for this constructor also we have created a separate object, right? And we have passed the values, and then if you call this calculate google revenue method, this revenue has been calculated and printed. But now what we are doing, this constructor we are calling in the other constructor, and the same thing which I have explained, right? It should be to this point. You can see this calling statements inside the constructor only, and they must be in the first statement. So if you put this in the last or second statement, right, you can see it throws an error, constructor call must be in the first statement. Okay, so always it should be in the first statement, then only it will call. Okay, and one constructor should be left free. Say for example if you are trying to call this one, right, if you are trying to call this constructor inside this, let's see, it will not allow, comma sum 90. Okay, see here it is throwing an error, right? Because you constructor invocation. So one constructor should be empty. Okay, in constructor chaining. So if you have another constructor, we will create one, and 4. Okay, I have created a default constructor here, and now let's do something like calling this constructor inside this. Okay, this, it's of a string and integer type, right? So let's pass the parameter as Google, comma, employee count is some 1 lakh. Okay, so now I have passed this one. So now what will happen, we'll go here, we will remove this one. Okay, so this line points to this constructor because we don't have pass any arguments here. So it will go here and it will check all these three constructor. This only does not have any argument, so it will point this, then it will call this constructor. Okay, so this is of string and integer, right? So we have passed string and integer, so it will call this one and it will go inside, it will call int, which is that this one. Okay, and see, now you can see it will print everything properly. See, company name is Google. Okay, it is printing properly. How it is printing? From here it is taking. Now the employee count is 1 lakh, that is also taking from here, and it goes here. Okay, it goes to the next constructor. What is happening? This dot company name it is assigning. Okay, so already it has assigned here, so this instance variable has been assigned, and this is calling this one, and sales number is getting assigned to this value, product cost is assigned to this value. Okay, so that's how it works. So you can do constructor chaining, and one constructor should be left without calling this. Okay, so if you are calling that, then it will throw you an recursive error. All right, and it should be in the first statement. That also it's very important. So this is how you can do constructor chaining in the same class. If you get a situation like that, then you can use this constructor chaining using this keyword. And the third point is, it is used to invoke current class method inside a non-static. Okay, so here if you try to, without creating this object, right, let's comment this object, and see, it is throwing an error. And if you are trying this keyword here to call, because it will have the current instance of this class, see, it will not allow. Okay, and now let's comment out this one. We will go to this non-static method. Okay, that's why I said this keyword cannot be used inside a static method or a static block. Okay, so here also in the third point, if you see, it is used to invoke current class methods or variables inside a non-static method. So we'll go to this method now. This is a non-static method, and I will use this dot. You can see you can access all the variables and methods using this keyword. So this is the third point which we have mentioned, and it cannot be used inside a non-static method. That you have to be clear. Okay, method or no, sorry, it cannot be used inside a static method or a static block. You can use this inside a non-static method. Okay, and the last point is, it is used to return the current class instance. Okay, for this point, if you are trying to return the current class instance in a method, how you need to create a method? Okay, so you have to use the class name here, Google info. Okay, so this class name you need to use, and here you can see add return statement. So if, for example, if you are using the class name, you can put it as return this. All right, so now let's see how to call this one. Okay, now let us call that method using this object. So we have say for example, this is a void method, right? Calculate Google revenue. So this is the method, and if you are trying to access this one, see, you will not able to access any of the instance of this class. But this is an you are calling sorry, you are giving the data type as the class name, and you are returning this of current class of this instance. Okay, current instance of this class. So what you will do? Okay, now let's use this object to call the method. See, for example, this is a void method. This calculate Google revenue is a void method, right? So if you do that, you can see it automatically gives the semicolon, because you cannot call the instance of this class using this method since it is void. Okay, so if you put dot also, you will not be able to fetch any of the details of this class. But you see now Google obj dot display Google info. So this is the method, right? We created using the class name, and we are returning this in this one. And here you can see it didn't put the semicolon. You can call any of the instance. See here, you can call all the objects that are available, all variables, all methods, anything you can call from here. So if I'm calling this one, and if I run this program, you can see this calculate Google revenue will be called, and this is also called. Can you see here? So both has been called now. So that's what, if you return this, and for that you have to give the return type as class name. Okay, this mostly used in the driver factory. Say for example, if you are creating a driver factory in your framework, and you have to give the class name and create these methods, and this will be called in some other method. Okay, so I will give an example now. So this kind of methods, right, using the class name as return type and returning this of current instance of the classes will be mostly used in your framework. If you create a driver factory, and if you want to call all the instance of this class using a method or something, at that time in your framework you will use this one. So we will see this in detail when we are creating the automation framework. But for now, just understand how to create a method and return the current instance of this class in that method. Okay, and see in one line itself, you are able to call two methods here. So that's how, because using this method, you can call all instance of this class. Can see here. So this will be really useful when we are creating a framework. So that we will see in detail later. But for now, just understand this concept alone. And this is all about this keyword in Java. And thanks for watching this video.